Yo, how are you? Good day. What's up? No, I'm not making a pizza too. Not yet, at least. Maybe tonight. I don't know. Probably not. I'm not that much Italian. Anyway. So, what's going on? Ciao. Ciao. It's ciao. Hello. Let's. What's up? What's up, blood potato? Beautiful bastard. All right. Let me let me switch the screen so you can see me drinking coffee. Cheers. So, oh, it's kind of dark in here. Just a second. Now, it's still dark, but yep. Let me do a thing. Nice hearing your voice while you work on these amazing pieces. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you don't mind that I'm not very good at English and my great Italian accent. Okay, now I can hear what's happening. So, let me show you something. I've worked on the ants yesterday because I'm a crazy person and I kept working on this game like till 2 a.m. probably. I don't know. It was way too late. And now they are done, like properly done. Let me remove the colors. This is pretty much final pass for the ants. I've also added a couple of little details on the arm as well, and transferred like the details over to design as well, because for some reason the symmetry wasn't working, so I had to do some trickery to make it work. Oh, they're done. They're done. Hello, Matzen. The fingers are done right now. I don't know if I want to add some other details later, but I'll see if they need them. Right now they are at least two different materials, so I think they will work fine. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4 materials, so they're good. They will work. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough once I've finished like a little pass on the whole skin, because I never know exactly how many details I'm going to add. If I happen to add like a lot of details on the body, and then maybe I'll have to go back to the hands and make them match. But I don't think it's going to be the case right now, so I think we are probably good with those. Now what I need to do today is to figure out what I'm gonna do with this leg in here. I need to add some more details. As you can see, we should polish it a little bit. So let's just jump right in. No need for the symmetry. After a sip of coffee though. Alright. Let me set up the brush. And also, let me just isolate this piece because it's going way too slow. You can't really work with that much that many polygons going on. Let me remove the ends. Let's do it like this. And also the chest and neck, because this part needs to be worked. Those things needs to. They are in need of some more details for sure. And well, there are stuff all over the place that are in need of for some more details. This is pretty okay. I don't know, I always jump all over the place, so I never quite finish an entire part of the skin. Because I think it's kinda better. It's kinda better because if you lose yourself into doing just one piece, then the whole thing is not going to look like one design itself. Ooh, I don't need this. So you're probably better if you just add some details all over the place and keep it at the same level. I just usually kind of work around the thing if I get stuck on something. Yeah, that's actually a good thing to do. But because you never know, you may do something on another piece of your model or whatever you're doing that make you say, all right, I can go back now and add this type of design choice to the other thing that wasn't working before. So you better keep it fresh. Feels more cohesive. Yeah, exactly. So right now I am looking at something that I don't really like a lot, which is this cut in here. I don't think it's very necessary like this. So we can maybe change it a little bit. Let's remove it for now. Let's see how it looks if we remove it. Let me save this for safety. Meanwhile, I'm doing this, so just tell me what you guys are up to today. What's happening? You're good? Doing some work? Or just hanging out? I've been just working since yesterday. That's all I did. But refactoring boring code. Oh, cool. Do you program, Madzan? Yep. Are you like game developer or do you do like industrial softwares or anything else? Just watching you really messy on Discord. Well, thank you. I hope I'm entertaining enough. Software but not games. Oh, nice. Like I don't know. Game related or no, well, sorry, not game related. I mean phone related or what else? Like some business type application for Windows or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, it's changed enough. Can you tell actually? I don't know, maybe you can tell. You're under like super huge NDA. Can't even tell what you do for a living. No? Server-side retail. Well, so I was pretty close. Oh, by the way, here's an advice. Don't ever think twice if you want to change. If you think something is not working, just go ahead and remove it. Don't keep it around. Don't be like it maybe works. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe nobody notice it. Just go ahead and change it. You'll be fine. Some people get scared and they don't want to redo a thing they have done already. But if your mind is saying that it's not quite working, it's probably not really not working. So go ahead, delete it like straight away. Don't think about it twice. Do it better. If you're already thinking that maybe it's not the best thing, you probably already know how to make it better. So don't be scared. You know the feeling, yeah. It happens in the code as well. I know that because I do some coding, like some indie stuff. Not very professionally, but for my own. And I know that once you write something, it's extremely hard to go back and maybe get a look at it and say, man, that needs to work better, and let's redo it from scratch. That's something that scares the shit out of me, because it's just super hard. And but yeah, if you know already that can be done well, especially in a commercial artwork, something like this, that you have to sell it to other people, you're not doing you're not doing anyone a favor to not change it. Never be scared, says Luke, you know. Well, you can be scared, but you shouldn't make yourself you should force yourself to do better a little bit, not like trying something you want to achieve. But I'll assure you, if you're noticing that something is not quite right, it's because you probably already know how to make it better, even if you don't know 100% yet. Yeah, one of my friends is trying to create Autonogen stuff, and I try to encourage him even when he doesn't like his own piece too much. Yeah, well, he's probably seeing what other people are doing and saying, damn, I'm not that good yet. Which is, maybe that's the case, but because it happens to everybody. That's something that happens to everybody. But you have to put the work to be that much better. So the only way to actually be better is to keep working, and finishing something and starting a new one. Never quite get stuck to something you're doing until you think it's perfect, because you'll never be satisfied of it. You just finish it and move on into something new. And the new thing, it will be 100% better, I'll assure you. That's an easy trap to get into, yeah. The best advice is to be your own little flower and grow. Don't worry about the ones around you. Well, you can't really do that though. You should look at what other people are doing. What you shouldn't do is to stop yourself doing something because there are better people around that can do a better job than you. The only way you can become that good as the people you like is to just doing something, maybe failing, but moving on. Oh my god, I have the exact same cup, yeah. I really don't like those cups. I think it makes the coffee taste worse because it's green. I don't know, I'm weird. I'm joking though. But that's what I say to my girlfriend. Yeah, no, I feel like I'm helping me encourage. Well, yeah, but I don't know if he would prefer to leave it as it is or work on something that might seem better. I mean, yeah, maybe don't take it too seriously. It's hard. It's really freaking hard though. But the best advice I can give you is don't take your first initial work too seriously. Know that you are going to not like it like in a month or so, even less. I mean, I finish stuff and then I don't like them in probably a week or two. I know I will do better if I redo them every time. That's just because I finished them and I learned from them. So the best advice I can give you if you're starting is to push push it and finish your work. Do the best you can at that moment. Just don't get stuck at everything, at anything, and move on. Once it's published, give it some time. Maybe take the feedback. Don't answer to everything that's going on. That's an advice that I don't follow, but you can do better than me. And watch it again after 1 or 2 weeks, and you'll notice a lot of things that you could have done better. Next thing you'll do is to just do another one, and it will be for sure a lot better, for sure. Hell, I don't like some of my work the next day. Yeah, it's really hard for creative people. That's a problem to have. I just noticed that two other creators are, yeah, it's an hangout. We do that quite some often. Hello there. Hello, Hydroxide. Yeah, see, now it's three, at least. And then there was three. Yep. Yeah. Go away, Connor. Already? Come on, I just said hello. For now. Fight me on side target. Great. So we have created some stuff. I like this part because it's new. I don't know. I don't like this part too much. This is too thin, I think. I don't know. Oh, this whole part is not quite beautiful as I'd like it to be. So let's just make it. Let's just keep changing it. Let me follow my own advice. Don't be scared. Angry looks. Okay, cool. Let's just remove this part in here. Fuck it. I'm trying to move on a little faster because I've been working on this skin for probably 2-3 weeks. Probably 2 weeks. You guys are having a fight? Can I bet on someone? Alright. Maybe we should keep the flat parts as they are and add some sort of paint layer or texturing, I could do that. That won't be a big of a problem, but I think it's too big. I think it needs to be separated some way. Otherwise, it's going to be a very huge piece, and the materials are going to repeat themselves a lot. So I need to make just these waves. I need them to be a little better. And I like this one, the first one. This part in here is very cool, but this one is way too thin and messy. I can do a way better job than this. So let's just get rid of it. Fuck it. I know I can. It means I'm ready to do it. The legs remind me of a Starry Night. Starry Night is what? It's the... damn, I'm bad at names. I should know it because I've studied fine arts. I have the picture in mind. Van Gogh, yeah. See? Ah, damn. I'm really bad at names, guys. I'm so sorry. You should have noticed by now. Like, I had the picture in my mind, like, straight away, but I couldn't remember the name of Van Gogh, of all people. The Dutch pronunciation is intense flag, or intense flag. Okay. I probably can't do that. I can't emit the sound. Oh man, if one were to make a Klimt inspired skin, it would be Prime for sure. Like 100%. But making a skin inspired by Klimt, it's probably not possible. But making an entire model, yes. I would actually love to do that. I'm all for that kind of things. It's just, it will be too hard to fit his type of style into a pre-existing model. It will be way too hard. You should check out Loving Vincent. Great movie. Yeah. Yeah, I probably will. I haven't seen it, so why not? It's been a long time since I've last studied fine arts and art history. Like probably more than 10 years. Damn, not at that extent anyway. Or like Sherry Stone. No. Okay. It's all Van Gogh paintings in movie form. Oh, I think I've seen it. It's like a short movie, right? I think I've seen it around, but I never watched it properly. Alright, let me check something. I'll show you something that could be quite interesting, which is the concept art for this. We want to see it? It's saving. Just give it some time. Oh, it's a full feature. Okay. Okay, that sounds pretty interesting. I will. Oh, yep. Okay. So, can I? Yeah. All right. This is how I do the concept art for the model. I wanted to see how different were the lines I've made on the concept from the ones I'm doing right now. This one. Heyo, amazing Mr. Airplane. Heyo. Hello. How are you? They're quite similar, but those are way too thin. Way too thin. Yeah, I'm missing some stuff. Alright, let's rework them. Oh, you do the concept art directly on the model. Seems legit. Yeah, I do that. Is that all one mesh then? Yeah. My models are way too often all one mesh, but I separate them if I need to do weird things. Like the shoulder parts I've been working on in the past few days. Those are separated because I need them to be asymmetric in shape, but symmetrically in the content. So it's quite complicated, and I do them separately. But this one, yeah, I've made the whole concept like in one day. It's all 3D. It's all on the model. And then I just go in and sculpt it, and I add stuff if I need it and change others if I don't like it anymore, like this part in here, because the shoulder parts were it wasn't planned, and the chest part in here wasn't planned as well. So once I've made those changes, this thing in here seems like very underworked compared to those. So I'm about to make the changes right now. So let's do them better. That's a lot of details to prepare up front. It didn't take me much to make those. It took me like one day, maybe, not even, from start to finish. I'm quite used to do concept art, and I will do something like that even if I'm going to do it like in a 2D form. Probably even more, because you need to do like a lot of drawings like that if you're working professionally. So doing them in 3D, it means you have to take in account the shapes it will take once it's on the model, but doing it already on the model, it helps mitigate that type of problem. I feel like Loki needs a tail. The spike on his lower back feels like a cut of a tail. Well, yeah, kinda. That's probably part of a tail. I mean, humans have part of a tail, so it's probably some play on that fact from the artist who made the original Loki model, which I don't know who he is, by the way, or she. Could it be Minky? I don't know. I think I'm the slowest artist in Tanojan. Well, you're definitely not the fastest, because that's 100% Faven, for sure. But I mean, there is nothing wrong to be slow because you want to do a good job. It's just if it's needed, you'll have to adapt. Otherwise, you can't find a job into the concept art field. Because if you are too slow, you're not producing as much as the people who are faster than you. That's about it. So you have to get used to it. But nobody is going after you right now. So take your time, do things as you like. Tails and done incoming. Okay. I don't know if they work, but maybe. I will throw all my money at a tail. Well, I've made a tail once, but they didn't want that. The story of my life. I do things they're not really appreciated, and then I have to reward them. So right now, let's do some other concept stuff into this model. Let's try to find the right shape for this girl. But Valkyrie needs a tail. Why? I've made the Vulpes Hyandana times ago, but it wasn't quite good. I mean, it was okay, but probably not what DE wanted. And I've never got like feedback on it, so I just went away. Beans long isn't always a problem. For example, I will say I'm faster than Hitsu to finish the skin, but these skins like have like 10 times more detail than mine. Yeah, well, they can't help it. You're probably not faster then. If you were to add like 10 times the details, you'll need the time. You're just settling for less. No, I'm kidding. But man, if everybody else is doing like very detailed skins on the market, yours are not as much. I mean, you probably need to adapt. But that being said, if you're still selling like a lot of units, then fuck it, you're doing it right. So you don't need to. This is not working. Call it an artistic choice, Lucino. It's kinda, but it's not really. If the game you're working on has that much details on all the characters is like the main team is publishing, you probably need to adapt, because otherwise your work will feel like it doesn't belong, or it's not at the same quality, and you don't want that. Artistic choices, it's not about details, it's about like line styles or aesthetics you want to add on your models. It's not about the amount of details. Honestly, considering the size of the final texture, you should put a bit less details and still have the same quality in game. It will allow you to create more skin in less time. Yeah, but what's left after you've published your models? You wouldn't have a very good portfolio, because you're not doing as much as you can. I'm also doing this because I'm advertising that I could do more. If Warframe gets a texture update one day and they decide they want to go like twice the resolution, my models will hold up like perfectly. And the ones they are not at the same kind of they don't have the same amount of details, then they go in depth, they'll be screwed pretty much. You'll have to rework them, you'll have to go back to them and rework them. Meanwhile, mines and definitely those the Faven ones, they have even more details than mine sometimes. Yeah, they will definitely hold up, and also it makes for a better portfolio. Like if you want to do this job as a professional and maybe like switch game one day and you want to get hired uh, somewhere else, you need to show that you can do a lot. But you say that though, but it shows on their models that there are way more details than some others that have been published. I mean, people can tell, especially those who play at a higher resolution. I don't know about console though. Uh, if you have a solid design, you won't need a bunch of details. You won't need meaningless details, but like details that makes your design pop out. Yes, you need them. It's not the same, man. I would love to use the Delusion Valkyrie on Atlas with it though. Okay, cool. Reku is a perfect example of that. Sorry, what skin he made? I don't remember. Can you show off skins in a portfolio? Of course you can. I mean, does this look like a skin to you? It's an entire model. It's not really a skin. And also, I mean, the people who made like Overwatch skins, don't you think those are like extremely good models as well? Of course you can. That's all they do, by the way. It's Airborne Studio, and they do things for other programmers and software houses. Their best work is those Overwatch skins. I play at 144p, yeah, 1044p. I see a difference, yeah, I know. The Trinity skin, okay, the Trinity skin and Wukong. Yeah, it does have. I know what you're talking about there. It does have like those paneling and very flat design style. I don't know how much people like them though. They're definitely different, but I am 100% sure that if we would do like the amount of details me and Frederick Fevan are doing, it would be way more popular. It already is, but I mean, it will probably kick our asses some more often than not. But it's not doing it. I don't know if it is not. It doesn't want to add the extra hours on his work. Is not able to do it for some reason. It could be for a lot of reasons. Maybe it doesn't have the time, or maybe is not at that level yet. But you can see that his style is pretty strong. Yes. Not sure, but from what I remember, Reku isn't working with sculpting software such as ZBrush. He only uses regular modeling software and subsets paints there. Yeah, it's a different way of working for sure. I really don't know if his skin are very popular with people. Because I'm not playing as much as I was playing Warframe before. I'll probably play it tonight though. If they release the skin, I'll probably go live and play with you guys. It will be very fun. I would love that. But since I'm not playing that much, I'm not sure if people is wearing those skins. So maybe you can tell me. I personally love his Vault skin. I use it all the time. The one that looks like an Evangelion. Oh, is that one? Zenler skin, yeah. That's the one I seen like all the time. but I can't even remember his other ones because I've stopped playing a lot. It's not because they're not popular. I really don't know. His Vault helmet is the only Tenogen item about with your Nova. Thank you. Well, yeah, it's very cool. I don't like this part. I don't actually see a lot of skins in general. Don't play as much now though. Sandanas usually. Yeah, Sandanas are those that goes with every Warframe, so you probably see them often if you're playing like because people switch on the new Warframes all the time or the new primes, and once a new Warframe prime gets out, they are all playing that one or the new Warframes just to try it out, and there are no custom skin yet. So if they constantly keep releasing new Warframes like they're doing, you probably won't see them very often. But the time of release like Zephyr or Mag, and Mag had like a big rework, you could see that all the time because people were playing Mag and there wasn't like a release of a Prime or anything. It was just Mag with a rework and my skin, so you could see that a lot. So yeah, you don't see like a huge amount of Tanogen skins though. In any case, I use Xena skin and Atlas helmet he made. Oh yeah, yeah, that Atlas helmet is very Atlas-like. I would have loved Atlas to add that style from the beginning. Yeah, but in the case of the Mag Deluxe skin, that's really hard for a Tenogen artist to compete with. Do you think? I don't know. I don't really like that Mag skin. It looked cool on the concept art, kinda, but the final rendition of it, it wasn't. It wasn't something that I would love to wear all the time. Maybe sometimes. Because it's comparing the base model to the deluxe version. Yeah, that's a big problem actually. Yeah. Oh, just give me a second. Where is it? No. Okay, it's in here. All right. I'm back. Mag Excalibur and Vault will always be seen as they are starter frame and also the first choice for future new version of Warframes. Umbra, exactly. Yeah, I mean Excalibur does have like way too many different designs from Digital Extreme itself. Because it's comparative, yeah, okay. I like most of the deluxe skins, but that flap on the front of her gets annoying. Yeah, I was disappointed by the Mag Deluxe too. The folk color being metal look really bad in game. I personally liked it, mainly because it did away with the regular hook fit. Yeah, well, we all have different tastes, and there is no way around that. But yeah, it's quite difficult to keep up with the deluxe skins. It's probably not a thing that we can do too much. The problem is that some warframes, like I'll make you the perfect example, which is Banshee. Their base model is like it's just trash. I don't like it, like by any shape or form. I really don't like the base model of Banshee. But her deluxe skin is pretty cool. And if I had the chance to work on to make a new skin for Banshee, with her base skin, I couldn't do much. I mean, I probably can do a okay job, but I really wouldn't like to settle for an okay job. I always try to make the best model I can every time I'm working, and and yeah, it's impossible to keep up to make a better job than the deluxe skin, because the deluxe skin is just it's good. It's a good base. Whether her base model it's really not. I don't know why they have done it like this, because man, it's very ugly. I like most of the deluxe skins, but they just stand out too much. Like Frost one, yeah, it was something we were saying with Faven the other day as well. They don't belong to the Warframe aesthetic, most of them. Like Frost. Frost doesn't belong to a game that's Warframe. It belongs to, I don't know, like future Skyrim, maybe. Uh, it's not Warframe though. And really, I don't know why they go for that aesthetic. Even the new ones they have announced like last week. I don't know why they're pushing away from the Warframe aesthetic that much. I mean, I would keep them the same universe, or maybe try to push the entirety of Warframe on that art direction, because I think it's cool. But if you just release the deluxe skins, they look like way different on another style, and they don't fit the whole Warframe aesthetic. I mean, why would you ask for the Tenogen artist as well to make models that fit the Warframe aesthetic? I don't know. It's quite. I don't know. It's a situation that I don't. I probably won't agree with. If it was something I would have a say in it. Money, yeah, but you can actually. I mean, there won't be any problem with money if you steer the whole Warframe in that direction, which I think it's cool as well, and it fits Warframe. But it doesn't fit like the current Warframe aesthetic. They don't look like they belong. I like most of the deluxe skins, but I feel if the E can deviate from them the aesthetic so much, then the Tenogen artist should be able to. Yeah, but we are. I mean, we can try sometimes, and in the past it has been approved, like my Nova skin. But after that, they've said no, we won't do this anymore, because people didn't like it. Didn't like I was doing something that far from the Warframe aesthetic. But if DE does it, there's not a problem, apparently. I mean, of course they can do whatever they want with their game, but I don't know. It could be done in a different way, and we wouldn't have so much of a problem about when the Tenogen skins are coming out. They don't feel quite as good as the deluxe skins, and they actually could be as good as, because the deluxe skins they just varied so much from the standard Warframe aesthetic. They are way too strong. They have an impact way stronger than the Tenogen stuff, I think, just because they are so different. I like the initial idea of deluxe skins were different from the main game aesthetic, but all fitting the same theme: Trinity, Banshee, Rhino, Ash, etc. But now, well, I don't think Rhino fits. I don't think Ash fits. Banshee, Banshee does fit quite a bit. Yeah, Banshee's cool. Trinity kind of doesn't. It's like at the edge. I think the one that fits better is Valkyr. Valkyr is the perfect example. I love that skin. It's extremely well done, and it's Warframe through and through. Like it's 100% Warframe, that skin, and I love it so much. It's very great. They could have done that, but they didn't. They just went from I don't know where with the skins. Like the new I don't know why we are getting a Vauban steampunk skin. I don't know why it's happening. What I saw is that all the deluxe skin were having the same aesthetic to each other. Trinity, Banshee, Rhino, and Dash seems to all be from the same universe, but not from Warframe. That's because Ignus Day was making them. He was the concept artist they hired for the skin, and he was doing his aesthetic. He wasn't doing a Warframe. His take on Warframe, I mean, which was his aesthetic anyway, because that's what he was doing personally. I love Trinity Deluxe just because of the theme, but definitely stands out. I mean, yeah, she doesn't even have legs. I don't know. She does have a jacket, which is something like they strongly recommend against while doing Tanogen, like giving straight dresses and something like that. It's I don't know. It's very complicated. It's another it's actually another thing to discuss about and understand. Legs are useless when you can fly, but she does have those toothpicks. I don't know. You could have made her like standard legs. I mean, those legs don't belong to the rest of the skin. Like already we are having that problem. Mesa Deluxe was just lazy. I quite like Mesa Deluxe, but I don't know if I would call it lazy. It's cool. If it fits Warframe, I mean, it's a take on like that that age like dressing code with a futuristic look at it, and with a Warframe spin, which is okay. I mean, it doesn't have the same problem that other skins have. But if you like it or not, it's personal preference for sure as well. I mean, I like it, so I don't have many problems with that one. It fits Mesa, it fits Warframe. I mean, if you look at Rhino, for instance, it doesn't fit anything. It doesn't fit Warframe, it doesn't fit Rhino. I don't know why it's there. I still prefer most of the Tenogen skin to Deluxe or Proto skin, but I guess in the long run it's all up to personal preference. Yeah, I mean, if you like Warframe aesthetic, you will prefer the Tenogen ones because they are bound to be to look more Warframe. If you want something very different, then the Deluxe skins are doing that. But I mean, you're not playing Warframe because you want something different than Warframe. They already have a strong visual aesthetic, so I don't know why they make Deluxe models that they don't reinforce that that aspect of the game. You're just going in a totally different direction, which is not. It's not. I wouldn't do that if it wasn't my choice. Let's just say that. It's great. It's working for sure because they're selling, and if you keep selling, I mean, it's working. So it's a good choice. But I'm just saying, it wouldn't be the direction I would go for. The Conquistador idea is cool, but you can't fit much clock era pistol on Mazda. It makes no sense. Yeah. Yes. No. I mean, the pistol is not a problem because Warframe does have like a million weapons. They're all different, so maybe you can fit those. It's not the main problem. It would have been cool if you had given like her skin, a ton of guns like all over the place, like as a belt, for instance, a lot of guns like the pirates used to do in that Conquistador era. They didn't have like a repeating pistol. They just had like a lot of them and use them like they use them for one shot only, then toss them away. That would have worked, but they didn't do that. I do agree, which is why I refuse to purchase. Yeah, I mean that makes no sense. Since then you can also say having guns attached to your arms also make no sense. Yeah. I'm buying the luck skin to get the weapon skins that come with them. Oh man. Can't you just buy the weapon skins? I never watch, just go and buy them. If they'd given us Stetson, a cigar, master coat, that would have been good deluxe. Yeah, they could do that actually. It would probably fit Warframe even better. They would have to call the skin Bodega though. Don't know if you know the reference. Oh, that would have been cool though to animate. You don't need to animate it. I mean, just the visual idea that they are there, and she is moving as fast as you can even see. It could have been that she were just switching the pistols. I mean, it's just an idea that you can relate the ability to. No, you can't, which sucks. Wow, I didn't know that. You want the giant swords that comes with chroma. Can you buy a deluxe skin and then add to your deluxe skin pack the weapon packs? Because I often don't buy the weapon packs. I'm not very interested in them. Okay, let me see. Is this working better somehow? Don't know. I'm not. Now you get either the Warframe skin or the whole package. As a sucker for our revolver style weapons, I would have loved to get the pistol skin alone, but you have to buy the full pack. Oh, well, okay. I mean, it's an incentive to buy the skin. It's a premium thing. I just thought you could, you you were able to buy the whole thing separately because that's what you can do with the prime packs. But yeah, it actually makes sense. You have to spend a little bit more of platinum, which doesn't cost as much. Come on, it's still a pain in the ass though. But yeah, I get it. It's like if I make an helmet that you really like, you have to buy my entire skin, or you get a skin with the helmet you really like when you buy it. I mean, for just $1 more. I mean, I know though you would have preferred to save the money. Everybody does. Okay, so this piece right here, I think it's kind of working. I don't like this tiny curl in here. It needs something like maybe a big shape. Maybe is it? Yeah, yeah, it works better with a big shape. It's more readable. That was my problem before because I made those very thin cuts, which is not exactly what I did on the shoulder. This is more like what I did on the shoulder, which is a wave curl, not cut in any part. So this is working better, but this needs to do something like this. This is already doing kinda. It doesn't have this. It gets too thin in here. We need to change it somehow. Maybe if we do it like this, maybe, yeah, it's probably better. Let me fix it. The shapes look kind of look like the wings on the legs. Yeah, yeah, like wings or maybe leaves or maybe waves. Not exactly wings though. It's not what I'm thinking. More waves or leaves. Because Kodama is a tree spirit, so it makes sense. And the wave is a Japanese constant in design. I mean, not constant, but it's very used. All details that make sense. Oops. Okay, let's sculpt them. This is way too low. Let me remove a little bit of these dark lines. So I can see where I'm sculpting. Just need them as an indication. Saving, okay. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think it will work better. Okay. Let's go back. 23. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do this before. Sorry if I'm not speaking right now. I mean, if you want to ask something, I'll answer. Otherwise, I'm just being concentrated. The man focus on his work. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, but I mean, you guys are here, so I feel like we should at least hang out and talk about something. Whatever you want. Okay. Come on, stop it. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing I can do in here. I need to make... I don't want a big shape in here, so this is not working. Let's just change it. Let's move on. I know it's not working, so let's not waste any time. Let's change it. Problem is I've made like a lot of curved lines that ends up in a curve, like a wavy curve, and I don't want to make a shape that doesn't do that, like this one. This triangle thing wasn't doing anything before, so I need to do something like this. No, same thing as before. Maybe like this. I mean, it's still going to be like that, but it can be shorter for sure. So maybe it's still changing direction. So yeah, okay, I've got an idea. I mean, that's one of my triangles. Here you go. Now you know where it is. See? We were missing one. So now we have it. This is also okay. Yeah, this is also okay. What about this part? Too many cuts? Probably. Well, we changed this. Maybe a small one. It was a small one before, and I've changed it. I don't want them to be too even. This and this are the same size, so it's not working. See? Let's change it. It's not working. Let's move on. Big, medium, small. Let's make another. Let's make a different size. Bigger. Okay. If you make them too repetitive, it's going to be boring to look at. Unless it's not a pattern. Patterns are a little bit different because they're meant to be repetitive, but they all look like the same piece. Whether if it's just the cutting lines that you see in the front, if what's going on in here is different, but you see that like repetitive stuff, it gets boring. It means you haven't considered it. That's what brains do. If you don't force it to work a different way, so you'll just you won't see the difference. You'll get used to it very quickly, and it gets boring. That's the source of thinking I've applied to my models. That's why it takes me a lot of time to make them. But that's for you. I hope it's appreciated. I mean, I know it's impossible to tell once the skin is done. It's done, like the line of thinking, but you will notice in quality. So I try to do my best. Okay, this is different already. And what do we need here? Probably a small one now. We can probably go like this even. Can we? I don't know. There's something bothering me in here. Let me take my bigger brush. Okay. This is kind of bothering me because it's not making the right type of curl at the center. I mean, when I concepted the skin, I didn't have all this idea in mind. You just come up with something better after you work on it for a while, and then you'll have to come back and change it. If you keep it like it is, it's probably not be the best work you can do, because you already know. That's what I was saying before. You already know it's not working properly, or that you can do better. What I need to do now is to follow this one. Yeah, and then do this thing, which is different from before. It makes for a more streamlined type of work. It repeats some shapes I've used on another part of the skin, like in here. Kind of repeats it. Looks sharper, yeah, the center of it, yeah. This part it looks smoother though. But yeah, one sharp, one smooth. That's what I'm doing. Like, this is sharp, this is smooth. This is a bit of a mess, but this is the smooth one, and this is the sharp one. I'm alternating them, even if I can. It's not something I'm making actively, but I use the two type of curves, both. Otherwise it will be repetitive as well, and you probably won't notice it. It gets boring, that's what I'm saying. What if you change the one in the middle to curl the other way? Like on the left side of the leg. This is to be fixed though, don't worry. I know it's not great yet. I wasn't planning to leave it like this. So here you go, now it's already way better. It needs some fixes in here, a little bit. On the other way, if you meant on the right, on the left side of his leg, like seen from up front, no, because I want the waves to go to the other side, to one side. No, it wouldn't have this line in here. I'll show you. I'll make you a line. See, it's following this line, the pattern, okay? And all the things that are repeating like on this side. If I make one on this side, I'll break the chain, and I mean it will come right here, but then it will go right here, and then we'll start again right here. That's not, it's not as pleasing. Right now it's doing this from here. It's following up a line. And it works kind of like an armor. I mean, I've made those because they look like a string that's keeping the armor together, like an old type of string, of armor string. It's also a Japanese thing that to repeat like stripes of armored pieces. So yeah, it's for a reason. I tend to make those decisions for a reason. The spiral to curl differently clockwise. It will break the waves. Yeah. Yeah, that's a problem. That's the only reason why I'm not doing it. Yeah, at least in this piece, but I think I've made it on the shoulders because they are a little different. They don't have this problem that they end on this side. They are like at the center of the shoulder, so I can do that in there. But yeah, in here I want the waves to go like to the outside, or to like go all towards the one is knee. At least a little bit, not to a huge extent, because there's nothing going on in his knee though. The line in here is something I would like to keep. It makes for a good flow. It also makes it look faster, which is always nice on any type of things that human wears. The movement of the design is very important. Okay, is it working? No, this line, it's not quite great. Yeah, it's a little better right now. I don't know. I need to remove myself from this design for a bit and then go back and see if I'm missing something. So what I will do in a short while is to go make some tea, and then I'll go back. Like it will take me like 2 or 3 minutes, if you don't mind. I'll take a short break. I'll leave the stream open though. I'll be back like very quickly. It will need some polish. Maybe I'll do this while I'm not streaming because it's kinda boring. And we can do another part. Gotta head out, but nice watching while I could. And looks great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, okay. Okay, sure. When you want. I'll be here. Bye. Bye, amazing Mr. Airplane. Okay, the only thing is this part in here, it's not, it needs something like this. It's looking too smooth. It's probably not this one. Ooh. Probably not this the best choice, but it's kind of okay. This is not, for sure. Maybe I'll do some thin cutting lines like this. Maybe some bevel lines, some edge lines. No, that's not very interesting. About, well, nah. Yeah, this all needs to be polished, for sure. It will take me some time. All right, I'll go do. I'll make myself a tea, and I'll be back in 5 minutes at max. Be right back. I'll leave it like this, like full screen. All right, be right back. I'm back already. Okay, let's go back at it. It's interesting how artists choose their music. I usually put on something energetic to keep me going. Yeah, and I like to be more chilled, relaxed. I don't like I don't like them to be synced as much as I can. And also, they don't work too much for a good stream. If there's too much noise, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so this part is working pretty well. Shall I polish this, or maybe we'll move on into some other parts that need some work? What do you think? Not quite sure. It's a little bit of a grind to make it. I mean, we're going to have some problems now, for sure. Yeah, this needs a lot of polish. Let me see. It's already 100% strength, so yeah, it's going to take quite some work. This is a real mess. Should we check something? Yeah. It's now way different. It's now... I mean... It's still... Oh, this is the wrong one. Sorry. It's still kind of the same. Regular smooth brush. Yeah, I'm using smooth brush and smooth polish. It is smooth brush, then I smooth polish it. But what I should do is to hard polish it after a smooth, because it's faster, but sometimes it's not even, and hard polish is very strong. It will make the surface very flat. So I tend to use smooth polish before a little bit. Then I hard polish tiny parts instead of big huge parts. It's a little bit problematic in here. Well, I mean I say that, but it's already kinda done. But still after this I'll have to remake every line pretty much, and then make some bevels and make everything look cool. I use a little bit of art brush. This is art brush, art polish, sorry. It's quite strong, so see what it does. See, you can clearly see it right now. This is what art polish does. So I don't like to use it on big surface. Unless well, unless that's what I want. That's not the case right now. Can I clay polish this only where I tell him to do it? Like using a mask, maybe? The result shouldn't be particularly good though, but at least I won't have to deal with all this janky lines. Since it's not refined at all, we should try it. Let me just make a pass on the lines, and then we'll try it. There are like two algos to clip polish. One is super strong. What do you mean? I didn't get it. Sorry. Oh, like different algorithms. I can't really speak in English. The default one is super strong, you mean? There are tricks you can use for that problem. Maybe I'll show you. Just 1 second. Let me deal with my tea. You should be ready by now. Yeah, algorithms. Yeah. Like different ones, like plugins for ZBrush. I think it's the other one. Let me check. We'll make a try. I need to define the lines though. I've smoothed them out a little bit too much while removing the problems. Yeah, fuck. This is looking okay. Need a bigger brush. Maybe too much. This is almost untouched. What about in here? Okay. What else? This one, for sure. A little bit too much though. I mean, it makes for a flat curve. Want it to look at least more smooth. Yeah, quite like this. There is so much I can do. Yeah, I think it should work. Let me see if there is something I'm forgetting, like down this. It's funny, I have parts of bananas done that I got those triangles to run the shapes. Do you have triangles to run the shapes? I'm very curious to see your work, Matzan. I'm always curious when a new artist shows up in Tanogen, because everybody has such a different look to their art. It's very refreshing when somebody else brings something different to the table. Okay, let's try to clay polish it and see where it goes. I am sure we are about to make a mess, but trying it never hurt anybody. I love and I hate watching those Tenogen artists stream. Why? On one hand, I love amazing art and this is fantastic work, thank you so much. On the other hand, I lack the skill to myself to properly translate my own skin ideas into the game through the program. That's something you have to practice a lot. It's not something you will get like easy. It's very difficult, and just do it. Just work on it. You will be able to do it eventually. And as I was saying at the beginning of the stream, you need to do what's happening right now? Why? You need to be wrong a lot, to do a lot of mistakes and to finish a lot of them. So I know it's frustrating. It's frustrating while you don't have enough knowledge to be able to translate your ideas like you see in it in your head onto the programs and into what you want to do. But the only way to be able to do that is to fail a lot trying to do it. That's how I've learned. That's how everybody has learned. So I get it, but if you really want to do it, just start right now. I think art might be a bit too strong of a word here. Failure sucks. Yes, failure sucks very much, but it also sucks not achieving anything. And if you achieve at least one failure, it's a step towards being a better artist. If you never do it, you will just stay without the skills as you are right now. Not saying you are without skills, but I mean without the skills to do what you really want to do. This kinda looks cool. This actually looks pretty cool. I mean, good job. Yeah, it's interesting. It's different. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot, Matson. What you say? It's a bit too strong of a word art. Looks good. I'd like to see it finished. You should have started with something easier. For sure though. I know this is very complicated in any shape or forms. I mean, the base model is very complicated. There are a lot of overlapping things. How much is it to hire you to translate ideas to a model? Mild joking. I mean, what's my rate for freelance work? I would say a lot. It's quite a lot. I'm not able to tell you exactly a number. Like, it depends. Depends on what's the scope of it, when do you want it, and depends how difficult is what you're asking me to do, and how much time it would take me to make a good job for your request. If it would take me like a week, it will cost a lot. If it will take me like one day, will still cost a lot, but not as much, of course. No, looks. I was joking. Where is like the phone, anyways? Even if it was $10, lol. Yeah, well, it won't be $10 anyway. For a freelance job. Right now, because I'm doing other stuff and I'm already very busy, I wouldn't ask less than I will be losing because I'm not doing what I'm already doing. So it's quite a high number. Of course, if you don't have anything to do, I mean, you can accept jobs for a lower sum than you will normally settle, because you're just bored, maybe, or you don't have anything to do. What stuff aside from Tenogen are you working on? I'm just working on Tenogen right now, but sometimes I take a pause and work on something like programming my own games for fun. I mean, whoops, my camera is acting up. For fun, I had a project that I need to rework entirely, like a game project I was working on. And yeah, the last job I've taken before doing Tenogen was for an indie company, an indie developer. It was like doing animation and concept and design and final art for 2D characters for a mobile and Steam game. It was fun. I didn't have anything to do at the time, so I just said, yeah, whatever, I'll do it, even if it's for little, just because the subject was very fun to work on. It was very different, very silly, and I had a ton of fun with it. We were just laughing all the time while doing like stupid, funny animation with characters that were like very cartoonish, kind of like a Rayman style, but a little bit different. That's I do something. I do stuff like that when I'm not working on this stuff. But yeah, well, right now I just do the Tanogen stuff. I work full time on those. It's fun. It's very fun, and also I get to do what I want while doing, obviously, while staying in the parameters of digital extremes. But the ideas are mine. Accepting a job from somebody else, it means that the ideas will have to be the client's ones. And it gets tiring after a while. That's why a lot of concept artists and artists have side projects. They work on their own. Because sometimes it just you have to work on your stuff and express your ideas. Otherwise, they'll just remind on your art all the time. It gets tiring. Okay, I said I was going to do like a clay polish, so let's see how it goes. We'll make a save. Okay. So it's this area in here. This part in here, the new stuff. This part in here. Yeah, interesting. Yep. I mean, maybe I can show you what I was working on last time. Like this December, I took like maybe 1 or 2 weeks of pause, and I've programmed a little game, like not even a game, like just the mechanics of it, for a racing game with flying vehicles. Just because I wanted to program something. It felt interesting, so I just did it. Is there a specific design philosophy you follow when coming up with your skins? You saw me pestering Fabian with question earlier, sorry. Don't want to be annoying. No, you're not annoying. I enjoy answering this type of questions, so you're welcome. Specific design philosophy. What do you mean by that? Explain yourself a little bit. Okay, let me see if I can do a clay polish in this part. Just try the standard one. It shouldn't break the stream. I hope so. Did you do it? Yeah. before and after. Before and after. I don't know if it's better. It doesn't look like it's way better. No, it's not helping. Okay, let's just move on. I'll add some more details in this part maybe later. Let's move on to this side. Let's do it differently. Let's do something different. Otherwise we'll be just bored to that today. No, shut up. Okay. Simon, what do you mean by specific design philosophy? Like what are the things that okay. How do you come up with the skin designs? Okay. Do you reference things you saw in nature, for example? Yes. How do you keep the skin coherent with itself, the individual part connected? Okay, the first thing I do is to choose a theme, which in this case is folklore, and I've named the skin Loki Kodama because it's based. The idea of it is based on the Kodama creature, which is something from the Japanese culture and folklore, and it is like a spirit that inhabits trees. It's a protector, and they are usually like maybe old men. Sometimes they are like animal creatures. So what I've made is I just made it look more Japanese style to remind you of that, and I'm doing leaves patterns and wave patterns to remind you of that. And also I've made like I made it look more like a deer. I mean, it was way more prevalent before. I made some changes to the helmet to make it look more like Loki. But yeah, it's supposed to be a Japanese deer, leaves, and things like that suit that fits the Warframe theme. Then the design itself, it's up to whatever. I do the big shapes first, like this leaf on front. It's the first thing I've done. This big shape, and then I just went to fill the whole skin, the whole model with it with a design that followed the guidelines I've made for myself. And yeah, I follow the base model to come up with shapes and lines that are complementary to the form of the base model itself. I mean, like this belt in here, this belt in here, they all follow his zip. Also, like this wave pattern in here, it follows his leg and makes it look like he's wearing an armor on the outside of his leg, which is okay because it's asymmetric. So his left leg looks like it does have some other thing on top, like it's wearing a kind of an armor in here. So I choose all these things to guide my ideas for a design. Then yeah, the individual lines are just mostly decoration though. I mean, I've made this individual line in here because it fits well with the big ones. The big ones are the one I do first. If you want to see it, I have the concept I've made for this skin. Right, since I'm doing detail work now, how do I decide how much detail is too much or too little? I just look at what the Digital Extreme is doing. If their model have a lot of details, I also have to make a lot of details on my models. Because they will work better together. I mean, my model wouldn't look like it's out of place if you put it side to side to a Digital Extreme model like base Loki or standard Excalibur, for instance. He does have like a huge amount of details in his back. So I just need to match the density of details that Digital Extreme is doing, because this model has to be in a Digital Extreme games. That's how I decide. There is no real too much, unless I'm just making like scribbles just to do scribbles. That's not what I do. The small details have they have to serve a purpose, and sometimes they may just be like little details to raise the detail density on one side, but I still tend to make them like these tiny cuts that look like button cuts, because they make sense. Like you will feel like it's something you can find on a dress, for instance, like this tiny part in here which looks like a button, but you really don't know what it is. I mean, I will probably make it metallic, so it does look like a button, and it will look more like if he's wearing a dress. Those ones as well, they look like tiny buttons. I tend to try to make make details that make sense, like these tiny tube things. They look like they are there to keep the tubes in place, but they could have been like anything. So I don't really decide what they are. I just decide. I just try to have them make sense, and then the number of details, it's proportional to what the original Digital Extreme models are doing. That's why sometimes I just go and stare at them for a long time. I need to learn a lot still, because their models are like probably one of the most complex models I've seen in a game. Not complex by the amount of polygons, because they're quite low polygons for today's standard, but they have like such a huge amount of details, and sometimes you really don't notice if you're not just going there and looking at them. It's quite impressive. So that's it. I'll show you the concept I've made for this skin. This is what I've made before I've started to sculpt anything. It kinda looks like the same thing. This is just the 3D version of this painted one. Sometimes though, when I'm making like these painted things, I just choose where details should go. I don't refine them. Most of the time I don't refine them. Like you can clearly see it. They are just made lines. And then in the 3D model I've polished them way better. Like in here I've changed some stuff, I think. Yeah, it makes more sense. Yeah, I've changed some stuff in the spine because they were too tiny. I mean, you probably couldn't read those. Or maybe I'll get back and add some more details in here. At the very end, though, I tend to not do it um, in the first pass because I have to be careful to balance everything out. So I just make like the big line pass, then the middle line pass, then a small line pass. Even if sometimes I just stop and make tiny lines on a part, or I'll just make like details because I need to keep them on the back of my head and think about them. So I see them while I'm working, and then I'll think if they are working or I want them differently. So that's how I work, pretty much. Like today we have changed this part in here, like entirely, which is something I've made like the first day. Actually, the first day I've started the skin, just kept them like they were. And right now, after working on the shoulders and this tiny part in here, they weren't like I want them to be, so I just went back and changed them. Amazing, thank you so much for explaining those things. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the explanation. It's quite nerdy, I know. But that's just developer thinking. And also cause I have a background in concept art, so I tend to overthink a lot of stuff because I like them to be always be something that makes sense. But it's quite difficult to achieve, especially if you want to be fast. that doesn't help. It's not working quite well in here, but this is okay. Alright, let's just move on to the other side. It needs tons of work. I was just thinking that maybe I want to keep, not to keep, but to repeat this type of details somewhere in this, like probably this part, because it's already looking kinda similar. Kinda. It's not quite the same design language though. So let's see what I can do about it. Let's see. I like this big shape in his leg because it makes for a place where eyes can rest, and also it will be good if I have some surface to make painted details. Like maybe I want to add a symbol, a big symbol in the skin. There is no space anywhere to do that, except if I keep like a big surface like this. I can maybe like scribble something in here and it will work. If I just scribble something like in here, there is no space. I've left this piece in here as well. Do you keep textures in mind when you designing details, or does that come after? If I'm designing details, like these tiny parts in here, yes, I do have to keep textures in mind for to an extent, because I have to actually to be aware that if I put some kind of material in here, that these details can go away. So it's the other way around. when I do the materials, when I place the materials, I have to be careful to apply them to somewhere they work well, instead of just choosing a random place. Sometimes if I find that I need a material like in a place and some details are going away, I just remove the material to that tiny place, or I'll go back, maybe I change those details to fit the material, because I really need the material to be in there. And by material I mean some type of texture that does have a pattern. Maybe it does have like a destroyed pattern in here, and if I make like a line like this, it will be deleted by the destroyed pattern, as an example. So yeah, I need to be careful of those things, but more often than not, this is the other way around. I need to be careful where I put the materials. I don't know. I don't know if I can do what I was talking about before. Yeah, it's too big. Let me just remove the ants because it's going way too slow. Let me just remove this part. And then we'll work in solo. This part as well. Go away. Okay. This is quite working. Okay, let's just make paneling. We'll come back to it if it's needed. I mean, I know it's quite boring, but sorry. I'm sorry, but it's needed. Some stuff in here, it's still first pass. So I've just made the cut, and then I haven't refined it in any shape or form. So you can see maybe there is like a clean line in here, then this one is not like the continuation of it is not very defined. That's just because I've made the big lines first, like in a fast manner, and then I have to slowly move down, doing mid-sized details and then tiny details. This is going to look more like a shield panel, because it will look like thick. Okay, I need to turn it like this. I don't know, do you guys find this type of things interesting? I always worry about it because yeah, I think you know my point of view about this by now. Yes, okay. It's really relaxing, and the problem is that if I'm working on this type of stuff, I need to be concentrated as well, so I tend to stop talking. It gets like you just will be listening music, fortunately. I have that going on. What's up, Wired? Thank you so much. You got already at least 3 or 4 works of mine. Do you really? That makes me very happy actually. And Mexican, okay. It's the first model I've ever made. Can you believe that? It's my favorite Mexicans. Thank you so much. It was a journey to finish that because I had no idea what I was doing. Genuinely interesting. Know, I'll be for sure picking up your new Cyan Nanos. Well, they are probably coming out today, so maybe I'll stream tonight so we can hang out and exchange screenshots. I'd like to see you guys wearing what I'm doing for the first time live. Maybe we can play together as well. That would be very cool. Oh, you're using like the deluxe helmet with this. I've never seen it before, and it actually looks very well. Haha, great. Oh goddamn, you have like all of them. The prosthetics and skins, yeah. I'm glad you like it. I'm really glad you like it. It's the first 3D model I've ever made. Thank you so much for buying it. They're coming out today, they've confirmed it. Okay, cool. Then I'll be streaming tonight. That's it. We'll hang out. Maybe I don't know, maybe we'll make a group chat or something like that, a Discord channel with all the Tenojan artists they'd like to join. And we can do like a big hangout. Would you be up for it? I have a lot of max. Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. I'm really glad you guys are still enjoying that mag. That means I don't have to do another one. No, I'm kidding. Maybe I'll do another one eventually. But I'm really glad you guys are still enjoying that one. No. Yeah, tonight is gonna be fun. Not every Sundan I've made is coming out tonight though. I don't think Solida is in the batch. No, it's not. It's not. I remember correctly. No. Um, just Corona and Sarin. Hmm. Damn. This part is too. It's too high. What's happening? My cell phone is ringing. Just give me a second. Okay, I just. What? Alright, everything is going on at the same time. Which of my skins do I like the most? Do I like the most and the least? Huh, that's very difficult. Give me a second, I have to stop this madness. People make group chats with me in, I don't know why. How do I... It's quite a problem, okay. Maybe it's okay now. Alright. That's Danielle. Perfect. Interesting question. Yeah. So, let me answer that. The skin I like the most. I like them all, actually. And I dislike them all. That's another question. I just, it's how I'm made. It's how I'm done. I mean, I work on stuff then, and I hate them for the longest part. Then I am about to finish them, and feeling quite well about them. Then when it's finished, like in a week, I just don't like them anymore, because I know I can do better. And yeah, it's kind of a problem because it means I will never be satisfied with my work, which helps you become a better artist, but it doesn't help if you want to be a satisfied person. It's very hard. But if I love to answer, this other doesn't answer the question. Yeah, I know, but it's hard to tell. It's probably the one that was more satisfying once it was done. It was Nova Visage, just because it was the hardest one I've made. It took me like 2 months to finish it. No joking. And that's a lot. That's a lot of time. But the design of it was something like it was super hard to pull off. I mean, to pull off. Yeah, sorry. Dedication. Yeah, but I mean that's and it was perfect. Thank you so much. It's still perfect. That's because I've changed it like so many times. I always were finding stuff that didn't work as well as I wanted to, and I knew it was I needed to make it as perfect as possible for Digital Extreme to accept it, because it was the first time anybody had tried something so different. I think, if I can remember correctly, nobody else tried to do something that far from what was the Warframe aesthetic on Tanogen before, and I probably can't do it again. It's one of those things that if you made it once and it will never happen again, because you will never be able to be so lucky to find another design that you can make work to that extent. So yeah, Nova Visage is probably the one I'm most proud of. I don't like it. No, I mean, if I had to redo it today, I will probably do it better. Just because I've learned so much after a year and a half. So right now I don't really like it. But yeah. And the one I like the least, it's Nyx, because I've been working on that Nyx Saturnia for a year and counting right now, and I haven't managed to do a good job with it that the E was satisfied with. So right now I'm really displeased that I haven't been able to do a good job with it. So Nyx Saturnia is the one I like the least. Not because I don't like the design of it. It's because I haven't managed to do a good job making the client I'm working for happy about it. So I'm not happy with myself with the work I've done, but I will fix it. I will, definitely, 100%. Just after I finish this one. You voted for that Nyx skin. I want it real bad. Yeah, don't worry about it. I will fix it. I know what to fix now. Skyers just showed me what wasn't working with it. And I mean, about time. I know what to do. I just couldn't understand it for the longest time, so I was afraid to change anything, and I'm not anymore. So when I get to rework that, I will be like making tons of changes, like big changes as well. But it will be still look. We will be still have a look that you'll enjoy. Don't worry. So yes. What else? I mean, I'm really happy. If you guys are happy with the skins I do, I'm really happy with them. As long as you guys are enjoying them, I'm very happy. Have you considered redoing some aspects of your previous skins, as in giving them a touch up, giving yourself only 2 days or something and just revisiting it? If that's even possible from the east side, yeah, it's possible, but you can imagine how that will go, right? With me, I mean, I will start working on something, then I will have like a million things I don't like, and then I'll have to rework everything. There are not like tiny piece of details I don't like that I will do. There are not. It's not like that. Everything it's made for a reason in my skins, because I try to do my best with it, with that line of thinking. So there are not tiny touches I want to do. I've made changes because there were errors I didn't notice, so that's something I do actively. Like the last change I've made is I don't remember if it's this month or last month, but it's Agoromo Nyx, and I'm still working on them. If I notice something I can fix, but no tiny changes. No, it's not something I would like to. That's why I say only giving yourself a day or two, but it won't be a day or two. A day or two, it's for a fix. It's not for a touch, because everything I go to change, it does have to make sense. So it's not that fast. Even if I want to change a material, they're all chosen for a purpose. So it's quite difficult. No, I wouldn't be able to do a rework in just 2 days. Also, I've become a better artist in the meantime. If like compared to what I did on Mag, I could do much more right now. So I wouldn't be happy to just touch something here and there. I would just want to redo a better job with it entirely. It's not happening. I mean, maybe one day I don't have anything to do and I've done all the warframes there are, and yeah, I'll take maybe a week and go back and fix or redo an entire skin. But I mean, that wouldn't help with the sales, I think. So I don't know. I prefer to fix what's not working. Mag is perfect. It's not. Not by my today's standards. No, it's not. I know you like it, but you will. I'm 100% sure you will like way better the same mag skin done by myself today. Nothing is perfect. That's exactly how it works. It's getting chilling in here. Just give me a second. I'll have to. Alright. It's going better in a while. You can show all your work. Can I, user J? Or do you want me to? I mean, I can. Loki, do you want to see the entire skin? Yes. Alright. Give me a second. Let's put the colors back. Do you like it? The legs are not really done right now, so they're not really important. It's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's still in need of a lot of details though, and that's what I've been working on. Looks great, thank you. It will be looking way better with the materials though. I can assure you that, and with the color schemes. It's always like a good indication if it looks pretty okay in the sculpting phase. But once you add the materials, man, I mean, that does make a lot of difference. So it's still like pretty much half as good as it can look right now. Okay, let's go back at working at this. I need to remove everything else like before. Okay. So back to the boring stuff. Oh, and if you have anything else you want to ask me, I mean, I'm glad to answer. All right, time for me to go. See ya, Hitsu. See ya, Matzan. Thank you for hanging out with me. Maybe we'll see each other tonight. I've been streaming. I'll be streaming. Yeah, for sure. I want to see who's buying my new stuff. One second. Alright, I'm back. You should join Hydraxate Discord and there will be tons of fashion of your skin. Yeah, I should. I really should. I mean, I'm new on Discord, so I'm not really in touch with many of, of the other artists yet. So yeah, I should join like Rob's Discord as well. Right now I'm just on my own with few people. I will probably need to make my own channel too. Yeah, maybe I'll toss a message later to Agege Place, a GGPim, Rob, and I don't know. We'll see if we can do something. Do you have emails? I'll check them later. Okay, so this is working. Let me add some tiny cut for details. Let's see. Maybe 2 is too much. Yeah, no, I don't really want this type of cut in here, of detail like this. I don't know, maybe this way flows better. Maybe not. Maybe I need I don't know why I'm doing it like this. It's not the best way. Nah, I'm not feeling it. Come on, come on. Come on, go away. Okay, perfect. I'll need another brush to do those tiny type of details. Right now I'm just testing things out. Like maybe I can do something like this in here. Yeah, it makes more sense. A little bit, at least. This is too harsh. Okay, so yeah, so this part is going inside of here, so I need to flatten things out a little more. I need to fake it, basically. I want to cut it as a separate piece, even if it will be like the best thing to do for speed. I just sometimes think that a more sculpted, like unique piece is works for a better and more warm looking model. And by warm I mean more realistic. Like if it's a sculpture more than a I don't know, like a product. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, you probably know what I'm talking about if you have done some sort of sculpting in real life. If you've taken some sculpting classes, I'm sure your teacher will understand that. That's what I did, by the way. I've studied sculpting at school and at university as well. A little bit at university. I mean, I didn't last for more than a year. I just couldn't do it because I was more into digital stuff, and we just have fine arts in Italy, or at least closer when I live. But yeah, sculpting was something I really liked, like since I was a kid. So I've learned to do 3D sculpting, like I'm doing 2D sculpting, not 2D, like real life sculpting. I just like the vibe of it. If it's more like, see, if you watch it like from the front, it looks like it's going inside. You can see it. It's not really if you put it on the side, but the projection will cast a ray like perpendicular to the surface, so it will make it look like it's going under anyway, in a soft manner. So it looks like more like a sculpture from a unique block, like a piece of stone, instead of something that's composite. Is it boring? That's the type of stuff I like to talk about. Alright, now we need to put this line back. What's happening right now? Alright, yeah, nothing. It's just Danielle. I'm glad she enjoys the new Siren skin. Really glad. Let me just remake a tweet that I'm live right now. That's probably, I've been going for so long that people think I'm dead. It's about 3 hours now. Just give me a second. Oop, my camera is acting up. Sometimes it happens, so don't worry about it. Okay, cool. Let's keep moving on. I need to remove the colors because I can't see what's going on in here otherwise. and this line is not going well. Okay. This is better. It's quite better. Let me see if I can make this line more interesting. Yeah, okay, it's working. It's working quite well. Hey Zhao, how are you? First time? Well, welcome. Have you already seen what I've been working on? Yes? Okay, great. Can I ask you where? I'm waiting to see that starting game. Yeah, it's going to be tonight. So I'll probably come back at streaming like right after it gets to the market. Maybe a little later. I don't know. I don't know yet. But I'd like to play with you guys tonight and see your customization live. I mean, it's something I've always done, but the other times I was just on the relays, just hanging out. This time we can do something live. I mean, why not? I should be sleeping, but waiting for update. Oh man, it's. I'm sorry to hear that. Come on, you need to sleep. You need a rest. if TE is going to take their usual time to release the update, you'll be up like till way too late. If you should be already sleeping, because I don't think it will be coming before another 2 hours at least. At least. Still using your Nova skin on config since button is. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Like I was saying, that is probably the skin I'm most proud of. So yeah, you make me happy with that. Thank you so much. Hotfix are usually 3 a.m. Yeah, those can come even later usually, but the content updates sometimes they are not. They're usually like 8 p.m. in here, 8 7, but it's like 6:42. So it's way too soon for those. I think sometimes they release stuff like during the night, like 9 10. So man, if it's already late, I don't know. Don't know if it's a good move. How's the next skin going? It's going to be reworked very soon. After I finish this, I have to go back to that and do the changes DE asked me to do. Like they've been so kind that they've given me like a huge amount of feedback for that. This time, because I wasn't understanding what they were asking me to change, it wasn't really clear for me before. So it took me a lot of time to realize what I was doing wrong with the skin, which is not exactly what people were saying to me. Like, D doesn't want you to make a tail. That's not the case at all. I just need to find the time. Like right now I'm taking a pause and I'm doing another skin. So I'm doing Loki Kodama right now. Once I finish this, I'll go back to Nyx, fix what I need to fix, and it's going to be even better than it is right now. And you will love your skin. Don't worry about it. I'll make sure it's exactly what Digital Extremes and your guys want from that skin. Also, I get to do it live, because I'll probably stream that as well. Why not? So you guys can see the changes like directly. And if something is going wrong, I mean, we just have to call DE and ask them for a fix, like real time. Nick is your queen. Yeah, good. Okay. Just hang on for a second. I need to do something. I'll be back in a while. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. Let's keep on working for a while. Then I'll probably make a pause and I'll be back later while they release the skin. No, my camera went away, so 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Hello. Wait a second, I forgot the glow. Oh, sorry. Okay. Man, this is taking like way too much. Have to be careful to not go into the symmetric part. I mean, I can still fix it if I just work on the symmetric part without symmetry, but it's a pain in the ass. This is quite finished already. I'm jumping around, don't mind me. It's because I need to think about what I want to add on those parts. It's quite complicated sometimes to just have right away the right idea. And then I'm getting tired by now. I've been streaming for 3 hours, maybe. It's a lot. So my ideas right now are probably not the best. Do you usually color the skins with the color scheme you will use yourself in game? Yes, sometimes. I try to pick a color scheme that's kinda neutral. That's not too polarized, like bright, too many bright colors, or a definite color. I try to pick something more muted to make you see the skin better, but also to make you imagine an easier way to make it look like something you will wear. That's why I usually use a lot of whites and sometimes like desaturated color mostly. I know that most of your guys, it's not what you like to use in game, but it gets for an easy way for you to imagine how it will look like with your colors. If I make if I release a skin and it's already colored like blue, you get used to that blue, so it's harder for you to think of it as a pink skin. While if it's a white, it's quite easier. But that being said, in game, I more often than not usually I use like some type of white. Sometimes I don't. Like my frost is always red. But yeah, most of the time I use the saturated colors and one very saturated, very bright, like for details. So it's it's similar to what to the criteria I use to choose my own color schemes, but they're not exactly what I would use. Except for the Nova Visage. It looked way better in blue, so I couldn't just not publish it like that. That's why everybody says it's flight attendant Nova. If I had made it white, it would have been harder for people to think of it as that. But yeah, now that it's blue on every release. Everybody sees it like that, so it's easier to make that connection. Also, my frost is blue, I think, right? That helps you sell the idea that it's wearing like a military dress more than a something else skin, which is pretty much what it is. My new siren that's about to come out, it's purple and white and a bright blue. It's like a desaturated purple, dark white, and a bright blue. So it's the same criteria. How about the Sayandanas in terms of colors? Oh, that's a very different. I mean, the Sayandanas are not characters, so you don't tend to think of them as something you already know. Character for a character is really easy to try to compare them to some other character you already know, but you never compare like you never make a comparison for us and Anna to another thing you've seen in another game. It's quite difficult, so you can make a Sandana pretty much the color you want. That's why, well, the Sandana is about to come out today, which is Corona. I made that white as well. Yeah, but the Solida, as you can see, it's like a sand color. I already know I need before I'm seeing it again. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And yes, it will work very well with all the greener skins and such. And that's also it's colored for a greener aspect already. That helps out the idea of it. But you can make it work with gray and pink if you want. It works very well with gray and pink. You need to try it. So yeah, the Corona will have to see the energy color before I can say for sure. Yeah, okay, that's understandable for sure. You need to see how bright it looks in your back, also, if it bothers you. I mean, I've made it thinking about that, hoping I've made a good job about it, because I don't want people to get blind because I couldn't contain myself with energy sandanas. But yeah, of course you have to test it before. I can't remember who made the Angel Wings Sandana, but sadly I was never able to use it in game. Can't see the screen. Yeah, I know about that problem. I'm aware. Aiming is impossible. Yeah, I'm really aware about that problem. I tend to be careful with my designs. That happens because sometimes the author of the design it just thinks about his own design, not how it will work in the game, which is understandable as well because you really want to do something, you think it will look cool, but it's really important when you're thinking about the design to take in consideration the game. It's the game, the camera angle, but that's because Tenogen doesn't have an art direction. I mean, it does have a feedback system, but feedback system is it's not enough for that type of things that will involve mechanics such as the camera and gameplay. It's complicated. It can't be tested before it's selected unless the artist that works that gave you the Tenogen feedback go and test it, but I can't see that happening because they are very busy. They're very busy people, every one of them. They maybe notice it when they're trying it and they ask you to change it, but if they have selected it, I don't know what you can do about it. So I'm looking for more to see. Yes, exactly. Smaller sandanas. I've made all my new sandanas are smaller. They're all small size. Maybe I've made the grenier one solid a little bigger because lots of people were saying make it bigger, and they're still saying it today. Make it bigger. I want it bigger, but they don't know. They just don't know what's going to happen. And if it's a situation like you've just said with the sandana that you buy and you can't use because you can't see the screen, and you get blinded by it because there is maybe too much energy effects going on, or it's too big and it's just in the way, and it gets you for a smaller screen that you can look at. It's just a failure. So I'm trying to be very careful with that. And also it's because I want a Sandana to be complementary to the skin I'm using, not the main piece. I don't want the Sandana to be the skin I'm using, you know what I mean? Not hiding the back details of the skin. Exactly. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean then. You need the skin to be the main thing, the main dress, and the Sandana to be like a good accessory. But I'm feeling that lots of Tanogen Sandanas are becoming the main skin, the main thing you put on your back, and it's the main thing you see. And that's not good, a good design choice in my eyes. But hey, if they sell, if people likes it, I mean, it's great. It's great that people want that type of thing, and they are selling well, and so good. But myself, I will never use those. Yeah, where it says add like other back options. Of course, you need difference. There are already a shit ton amount of used Sandanas, so it's not what I like either. I like the small ones. I always use the small ones. Corona seems to have the right size to me, but again, we'll have to see it in the arsenal. Of course, of course. Blowback or gems? Yes, yes. I'd love to be able to do more gems, but it's hard. It's hard for those to get approved because they are really particular about them. That's also why my previous Sandana, which is Secta, does have an hologram at the center, and the actual Sandana starts at a lower part, so you can see through the hologram and see the skin behind. Then the lower part, when it starts, there is a little bit on the screen, but if you're playing normally without too many jumps, you probably won't be able to see the tail of the Sandana too often. Because it will look prime? No, it's because the symbols you can make on the gem stuff in Warframe, they all belong to a faction or something. So either you make a faction Sandana, and those are hard to get accepted because of course the E wants you to buy their own faction Sandanas. They are often like a reward for high reputation with them. You know what I mean? They don't want you to just go and buy the faction Sandana. So it's hard to come up with a design that still fits Warframe, and it's that something that you can use as a gem. It's quite complicated. I've tried to make one once, kinda. It wasn't really good. It was a really good attempt, I know, but yeah, I didn't know what to put in there. I mean, when I'm in dubbed, I often use triangles because I love them, but it doesn't really fit Warframe. I mean, unless it's what is it? Perrin style, Perrin something. But yeah, those are still factions and ANAs, so it's hard for DE to approve them. They've approved the Officium though, because it was something really different, but it wasn't a gem. Alright guys, it's been 3.5 hours, so I'm getting very tired. And I'd like to come back later and stream while we are playing with the new skins. So I think it's about time I'll end up the stream right here. We've made quite of a progress in here though. I need to polish it. Probably by tomorrow I'll have this whole part finished. And maybe this one as well. I'll try to. So we can work on the legs. It will be quite fast. And yeah, we'll see you later, right? Alright? Thank you for the streaming. Thank you guys for hanging out. It's always a pleasure, and I love that you guys ask all the questions. It's a fun time. So see you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.